Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm going to read from the Florentine Codex. This is book 12. It speaks about our people using magic spells. I found out in a lot of scriptures that we were literally doing magic and we had spells. And Big Judah put a video out about King James making magic outlawed. And if you haven't noticed that they have changed a lot of wording in the scriptures, and they're really slick. So we got to really start paying attention what we read and pay attention to what's being said. So I'm going to read in here to prove to you that we were using magic even in the 1400s. And I want you to see how they're going to slide something in there really subtle and slick. But as I go on, I'm going to pick it out and show you what they put in. If you just pay attention to what you're reading, that it doesn't make sense, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to start reading at, this is chapter 8. Well, actually, I'm going to start at 7. Chapter 7. And then go through to 8. Okay? All right. Chapter 7, Florentine Codex. It says, in which is related the account by which the messenger who had gone to see the boats reported to Montezuma. And when this was done, they thereupon reported to Montezuma. So they told him how they had gone, marveling, and they showed him that what the Spaniards' food was like, and he had so heard what the messengers reported. He was terrified. He was astounded, and much did he marvel at their food. Especially did it cause him to faint away when he heard how the gun at the Spaniards' command discharged the shot, how it resounded as if it thundered when it went off. He indeed bereft one of strength. It shut off one's ear. And when it discharged, something like a round pebble came forth from within. Fire went showering forth. Sparks went blazing forth. And its smoke smelled very foul. It had a fetid odor, which verily wounded the head. And when the shot struck a mountain, it was as if it were destroyed, dissolved. And a tree was pulverized. It was as if it vanished. It was as if someone blew it away. All iron was their war array. In iron they clothed themselves. With iron they covered their heads. Iron were their swords. Iron were their crossbows. Iron were their shields. Iron were their lances. And those which bore them upon their backs, their deer, were as tall as roof terraces. And their bodies were everywhere covered. Only their faces appeared. They were very white. They had chalky faces. They had yellow hair, though the hair of some was black, long with beards. They also were yellow. They were yellow bearded. The Negroes' hair was kinky. It was curly. And their food was like fasting food. very large, white, not heavy, like tortillas, like maize stalks, good tasting, as if of maize stalks flour, a little sweet, a little honeyed, and was honey to eat. It was sweet to eat. So you notice it just said Negroes, right? I've been trying to tell everybody that not only white men came here too. Edomites came here. That's the Negroes are the Edomites. The other colors, our twins, our brothers. Here we go. Not the white man. The white man is not the Edomite. The white man is the heathen. Okay. And their dogs were very large. They had ears folded over, great dragging jaws. They had fiery eyes, blazing eyes. They had yellow eyes, fiery yellow eyes. They had thin flanks, flanks with ribs showing. They had gaunt stomachs. Listen, I'm about to show y'all something. These dogs they talking about are not four-legged dogs. These are what you call werewolf, dogmen, whatever, that they saying they see in the woods. Listen to the description of these dogs. You tell me a dog with yellow eyes. Just think about it. Let's pay attention to what you being read. It says, and their dogs were very large. They had ears folded over, great dragging jaws. Great dragging jaws. Big ass jaws. Big jaws, I'm sorry. They had fiery eyes. Fiery eyes. They are red. Blazing eyes. They had yellow eyes. Werewolf. Dogmen. Fiery yellow eyes. They had thin flanks. That's their ribs. That's their ribs. Now they going to describe like their stomachs. Flanks with ribs showing. They had gaunt stomachs. How can you see a dog's stomach? Would they lay down underneath the dog? Think about this. Come on, y'all. They were very tall. Very tall. You hear this? These are dog men. They were nervous. They went about panting, with tongues hanging. They were spotted like ocelots, or something like that. They were very, very colored. And when Montezuma so heard, he was so much terrified. It was as if he fainted away. His heart saddened. His heart failed him. I want y'all to understand this. These dogs of the conquest were not four-legged dogs. These are these dogs that these people are seeing in the woods now, that these Europeans are seeing. These are dogmen. What's his name? Condrop. He do a whole thing on it. You tell me how you see a dog's stomach if he's standing on all fours. And why would you say a dog is tall? You'll say the dog is very big. Like, that's a big dog. You're not going to say, oh, that's a tall dog. Those dogs were standing on two legs. That's why they were talking about their rib cages down to their stomach. Meaning he saw their chest down to... These were dogmen. Chapter 8. In which it was told how Montezuma sent magicians, wizards, sorcerers, so that they might bring about evil to the Spaniards. At that time, Montezuma sent emissaries. He sent sent all evil men, soothsayers, magicians, and he sent the elders, the hardy warriors, the brave warriors, to secure for the Spaniards all the food they would need: turkey, hens, eggs, white tortillas, and what they might desire. And in order that their hearts might be well satisfied, they were to look to them well. he sent captives so that they might be prepared. Perchance the Spaniards would drink their blood, and thus did the messengers do. But when the Spaniards beheld this, much were they nauseated. They spat, they closed their eyes tight, they shut their eyes, they shook their heads, and the emissaries had soaked the food in blood. They had covered it with blood. Much did it revolt them, it nauseated them, for strongly did it reek of blood. And Montezuma did act thus because he thought them gods. Now, this is the bullcrap. I want y'all to listen to what they're saying. Now, they're saying that Montezuma thought that these people were gods, right? Now, listen to this. He took them to be gods. He worshiped them as gods. You hear this? Now, they're saying he worshiped these people, right? This is where they're sticking their mess in it. They were called, they were named gods, come from heaven. This is them putting their mess in it. And the black ones were said to be dirty gods. You hear this, right? You hear this. So the Negroes that came with them, the Edomites, they called them dirty gods. And the white ones were called gods from heaven. So if these Spaniards that came were gods from heaven, then that means they had to see them before, right? Because they say he worshiped them. Just listen to the bullcrap they put in here. Later, they ate white tortillas, maize kernel, eggs, turkey hens, and all manners of fruit, custard, apples. I'm going to just go all the way through the food. And I just want y'all to see what's about to happen. Watch how this change up. Just to show you, they stuck that in there. Mammy, yellow zapata, black zapata, sweet potato, manioc, white sweet potatoes, yellow sweet potatoes, colored sweet potatoes, Icama, plum, yobo, guava, kujalat, I guess, I don't know, avocado, acacia, bean, chigatat, I don't know, American cherry, tuna, cactus fruit, mulberry, white cactus fruit, yellow cactus fruit, red cactus fruit. All right, I'm gonna get off this food. And the deer food was pipamo, the horse food. And it said that for the reason did Montezuma send the magicians, listen, the soothsayers, that they might see of what sort the Spaniards were. But I thought they were gods. Now you're trying to see what sort they were. Just see, you hear it. That they might perhaps use their wizardry upon them, cast a spell over them, that they might perhaps blow upon them, enchant them, that they might cast stones at them, that they might with some words of wizardry utter an incantation over them, so that they might take sick, might die, or else because of it turn back. But these, when they performed their charge, their duty against the Spaniards, had no power whatsoever. They could do nothing. Then they hastened to return. They came to tell Montezuma what they were like and how strong they were. Okay, if these were gods from heaven and you worship them, why would you? How you gonna kill a god? Why would they even try to kill somebody they worship? They stuck this to that. That's bullcrap. And that's how you know they put it in there to try to make it like they came here before. These people never been here in their life. If Montezuma worshipped them and he knew they were gods, then he wouldn't be trying to figure out who they were and hoping they would leave. He would know who they are. That's the mess they put in to try to stick themselves in our scriptures and our stories. We are not their equals. We are as nothing. Then Montezuma sternly commanded, charging, enjoined, ordered on pain of death, the stewards of all the lords, the elders, to see, to care for anything the Spaniards might need. And when the Spaniards came forth to dry land, finally they so came, when already they were to move, when already they moved, when already they followed the road. They were well cared for. They were held in esteem. It was completely in the emissaries' hands that they went along, that they followed the road along. Much was done for their sake. So, if y'all have watched any of the stories, Big Judah and Condra, Carrie Mayo, all of them have been reading. Everybody's been reading. Montezuma already knew that they were coming. MostHigh already told them that they were coming. That's why he sent them. He sent a vision to them. He looked in the mirror and saw them coming and told them what was going. They been knew what was going to happen. This is why they're doing what they got to do to take care of them. And he knew they didn't have no power because the Most High said it. He said he's going to take all our power from them. So the magic they used didn't work because the Most High took the power from us. So all this, they were gods, we worship them and all that, that's the bull crap they stuck in there. Because if you read any of the other stories, they try to tell you that the gods, the gods before our people came out of Egypt, they learned from them, these white gods, and tore us all over. They built the land or some mess that they wrote a book saying they built up everything and we moved into the land and just took over the stuff or whatever after they left. These people are such liars, but that's just to show you the contradiction, to show you that how you gonna worship a God, know that somebody is a God, then turn around and try to kill it, and then try to figure out who they are, and hoping that the God leave. You're supposed to know who they are if you already worshiping them. When you know who your God is, if you're gonna worship your God, stupid. And then even with the thing with the dogs, they're talking about dogmen or Canaanites, dogmen. Look at Con Drop video about the Canaanites.